Hey, it's Nesset Cake Style, and today I want to show you how to make a cool Shopkins berry smoothie cake. So I started out with 3 different sizes of cakes for this and also 2 shades of buttercream. I started with a pink and then just an orange, and I will let you know the details for how to make them. And then I used those to create 3 more shades to get that really cool ombre effect, going from orange at the top down to pink at the bottom. And don't worry, I have listed in the description box as well as on the website what colors I used and the ratios and all that type of thing that you're going to need to recreate this. So I've added some filling layers, and then I've gone ahead and chilled the cake just a little bit before grabbing a 7-inch round cake plate and using that as a guide so that I can cut this shape. I kind of just want to make sure that the cake is inside the framework of our 5-inch cake plate on top, which is actually the bottom, and our 7-inch at the bottom. I want to work on one side, and then I want to flip the cake over completely and do the exact same thing. And then I've crumb coated this cake just with a light coat of our darkest shade of orange before chilling it and getting ready for the really fun part. Okay, so now I'm applying a thick amount of each color. You can use a piping bag if you want to as well, it doesn't matter. But the key is to make sure that your pink is at the top, and that takes up about 1/3. And then all of those little shades of color that we did that were sort of a combination of our pink and orange, all of those 3 need to squeeze into just 1/3 more of it before right at the bottom we want to finish it off with the darkest shade of our straight orange. Make sure that you have a scraper that's large enough, that's really tall, so that you can get around this cake, because you don't want to have any streaks or lines. So you're pretty much just smearing it around and around to get it nice and smooth, and then flip the cake over onto a cake board and you can pop off that top board. I want to go ahead and stop any crumbs or any air getting to this cake, so I'm just going to do a thin coat of orange on top. Now I've taken some orange modeling chocolate because chocolate always tastes better, and I've gone ahead and made a leaf. I've cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and then I'm just using a toothpick to be able to give it a little bit of texture. And then of course I need to do a strawberry, so for that I'm just going to roll a little ball, blunt it at the top and kind of pinch it at the bottom. And the last thing you need to make is kind of using a calyx cutter, or I cut this by hand to show you that you can, and you want to make the little tuft of what's normally green go on top of the strawberry. Now chocolate sticks to chocolate, but if it doesn't want to stick to itself, you can go ahead and apply a dab of water. And then I'm popping these off to the side while I get started on the straws. So the straws are really easy because I'm just rolling them out into a long sausage, trimming them up a little bit, and then all you want to do is give them a light bend towards the top. And then I'm using a toothpick to kind of make those markings for where it's curved, because you want that concertina kind of look to the straw. And I'm using a shortened bamboo skewer to slide up in there, and that way I can pop it into the cake. The most fun part of this cake is actually doing this part, because you're just sort of doing a gigantic swirl of white buttercream. It's really similar to what I did on the Starbucks Frappuccino cake that I did. And all you want to do is whip that around and then pop the straws in, add our little strawberry in our leaf, and then it just needs a face. So you probably see me do lots of different faces on cakes, and we have a bit of a winky eye for one of these, and then we have a regular eye that's round, so I'm just using the end of a piping tip for that and giving it some little lashes. I'm using some white modeling chocolate, which can tend to be kind of sticky, so you want to start with a small amount and then dab it around just to add those little accents to the eyes. I've also rolled out some red modeling chocolate super thin, but if you're worried about this and having any trouble, remember you can pipe this with buttercream if you would rather do that. And the last thing this Shopkins needs is some little arms and legs, so I'm using some pink modeling chocolate that I have made as close to the shade of buttercream as I possibly can, and I'm just going to shape those with an X-Acto knife and just with my hands. Pop the little feet on. Now one arm goes out, so I'm using a toothpick to help keep that in place, and then the other one is kind of hugging around itself. And there you have it, guys. We have berry smoothie. It's a pretty cute Shopkins. For anybody who loves smoothies like me, I hope you really like this cake. And remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week with another video.